ANU from Australia, ANU. Can you introduce yourself, please, ANU?
I'm the university. My name is Zhao Yapi. I'm just Zhejiang University Networking Center.
Okay.
Come from?
Is the Mr. Chen and Guo will be here today?
They're not here.
Okay, hopefully they will be here, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great then. And I can see ANU now. ANU, can you introduce yourself and who is present today, please? Good morning. Australia?
Please repeat.
Yeah, yeah.
Please repeat it.
Zhejiang, can you mute your mic, please? Okay, you mute aja orangnya nggak. ANU?
How's that?
All right, I can hear you now. That's
can
good.
you-
Yeah, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes. I'm Robin.
Okay, I can hear you, Professor Stanton, Robin Stanton, and
Hi, Riri.
hi. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning.
That's good. So, yeah, and the last connection is from Chulalongkorn. Chulalongkorn, can you hear me?
Good morning. This is Namun from Jalan University.
Okay, so yeah, all of us is here today. So thank you very much. So without any further ado, I will start with the first presentation from Jackie Reynolds from UCLA. Kenapa disconnect? Yeah. Jackie, can you start the conversation, please, and your presentation? Yeah.
Yes, I definitely can start. It's funny, I've never done this before, and I had it in my head that I'd listen to some of you and then go, okay, now I know what I'm doing. But no, I can start. I work a lot with the new IT strategic plan here at UCLA, so Jim thought it would be a good idea if I talked a little bit about what we're doing with the strategic plan. We call our IT strategic plan IT 2020 because it is a 10-year plan that we're hoping to have in place by the year 2020, and a bad pun, it's also our vision for the future, and here in America we often talk of having 2020 vision being very good. I also work a lot with governance, so what we've been doing is taking the IT strategic plan through the governance process, and it's allowed us to really revamp what we're doing in terms of governance, and sort of bringing it to a whole new level, having something this concrete to work with. So in our governance process, we have three groups. One is called the IT Planning Board, which is very academically driven and is responsible for the policies and the overall planning. The second group is called the Infrastructure Technology Group, and that group is responsible for basically the funding and financing of projects. And that certainly is involved then in the prioritization. The third group is called the Common Systems Group, which is essential at UCLA because our IT is so incredibly decentralized that we have 32 people on the Common Systems Group, each one representing a completely different independent IT organization on campus. So every one of our schools and our college divisions and many of our administrative units have their own IT leader. And so we bring them together and they provide the technology expertise in the governance process. So what we're doing now is we've taken all the initiatives that are part of the plan for the next 10 years, and we are working them through the different governance pieces. We have a website that if you have a computer in front of you and you would like to look at it, I'm sorry that we didn't really get our video working here effectively, so I can't put the site up, but it's called IT 2020. it2020.ucla.edu. And what we have on that site is a screen called Initiatives. We also have our entire strategic plan if you're interested in reading it. We've divided our initiatives into 4 categories or 4 quadrants in a 2x2 matrix. The top half, the left is central or university-wide, and the right side is decentral or departmental. The bottom half, the left side is common infrastructure, and the right side is more decentralized infrastructure. So you have your applications on the top, your infrastructure on the bottom, anything central or campus-wide to the left, anything that's more decentral or driven more departmentally is to the right. And within that, we've identified many initiatives. So some of the major initiatives that we're trying to accomplish on the left-hand side, which is very much the enterprise-wide side, are things to do with common email, common networking, the things where we really want to have campus-wide site licenses or campus-wide direction. The things that, as Jim Davis often puts it, are what we call non-differentiating. Those things that don't make any individual unit better by doing it themselves. And for a long time, and including now, most units, the law school, the management school, even all the way down to perhaps the English department, did their own networking, their own email. We're trying to get away from that. We're trying to say that, you know, the law school running its own email system doesn't differentiate it in any way. No one says, I think I'd like to go to UCLA Law School. I hear they run their own network. So we want the schools to start focusing on those things that do differentiate them, and that's more the right side of our quadrant and the initiatives related to that, where we're trying to do a lot of things where we're creating everything from mobile apps for the different units to classroom tools, research hubs, the type of things that really allow an individual professor or researcher to make their program better. So that's what a lot of our strategic plan is focusing on, and the different units then work on the pieces they need. So if one of the things that's in the plan is a new financial system, which is purely administrative, then the administrative side of campus works on what they need to do to create that, and then it will go to the group that does the funding to determine whether the campus wants to fund a project like that or even just fund the planning portion of it. If there are issues then that come up in terms of how things need to be done in terms of new policy, then it might go up to the planning board there. And if they want input from the technology group to make recommendations that this will work well on campus, this is something that we can bring across all departmental lines without adding tremendously additional infrastructure, then the Common Systems Group will endorse it. And that's basically what we are currently trying to do in bringing together the strategic plan with the governance process here at UCLA.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for starting the discussion and sharing your
Is there anything
condition.
more you would like to
Yeah.
hear?
Later
I
we
want
will
to
go
just
to
talk.
the
I'd love to know
discussion.
what you want to know. I don't hear you.
Yeah, we'll go to the discussion
I
after.
can't. I'm sorry. I can't hear you. There we are.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can now. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, we'll go to the discussion after the 3 presenters. So we will go to
Okay.
Professor Suzuki from Tohoku University in Japan. Professor Suzuki?
Yes. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to give this presentation. So would you please change into the PowerPoint file? Okay. Yeah. No?
Great. We can see that, please.
Okay. Can you look at the slide?
Yes, properly. Thank you.
Moment, no.
Bye.
Can you
Yeah, it's
look at
perfect.
our slide?
Yeah, we can. You just go on with the presentation.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'd like to start. I'm working as the director of Information Synergy Organization of Tohoku University. So today I would like to talk about the strategy, ICT strategy of our university. Our university has a plan called Inoue Plan. Inoue is the name of our president, and soon after he became our president in 2007, he drew up his plan, Inoue Plan, aiming at the establishing our global position as a world-leading university. And this plan, as shown in this slide, has 5 pillars: education, research, social contribution, campus environment, and organization management. And here, to realize this plan, he proposed 3 keywords: challenge, creation, and innovation. And this is, say, a kind of constitution of our university at present and for the immediate future in our university. And in this Inoue Plan, he declared to install basic information and communications and media infrastructure, and therefore, in 2000, it was the end of a 5-year plan, action plan, to build up our ICT infrastructure to make our university a digital university. And to realize this action plan, 5-year plan, our Information Synergy Organization is thus systematically constructing university-wide advanced ICT system consisting of 4 pillars I'm going to introduce now. And these 4 pillars, A, B, C, D, can be classified into 2 layers. A and B is the upgrading the information infrastructure. A is the bottom, systematic development of university-wide advanced secure network system. And then above that, pillar B is the establishment of a university-wide integrated authentication system. And based on these infrastructures and pillars, C and D is for the establishment of integrated administration system. C is establishment of a portal system with advanced groupware to improve total efficiency and satisfactoriness, including those of students. And pillar D is the systematic development administrative information systems for all the administrative and educational jobs done in our university. So these systems are for all the members of the university, from the board members to students. And other than that, we are proud of providing a nationwide advanced supercomputing service. And this is, as I've just told you, a nationwide researcher aiming at providing a very advanced supercomputing power for nationwide researchers, and which is unaffordable to laboratory or even via graduate school. And these systems, NEC SX9 vector supercomputer, whose power is around 30 teraflops, and NEC parallel computer, which is very highly paralleled. These 2 systems may be used based on, not by a top-down big project. Of course, it could be used for that, but also based on researchers' own motivations and research objectives with very small expenses. So these systems we are trying, advancing in future, including the very stable operation of these systems. And thank you for your attention. That's all from me. So would
Okay,
you
thank you, Professor Suzuki. Yeah, we can see the slides
change
clear. Can
into
you change
my
into your
picture?
mode? Yeah, that's clear. We can see you again now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And the third presentation
Thank
is
you.
from the University of Malaya. I would like to call Dr. David Aisirfatam, Director of Center of IT. Malaya? Malaysia?
David here.
Yeah.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can
you
hear
me?
you, David, but I cannot see you.
There's no picture, is it? No video?
No. Huh? No, from the Malaysian side, I think. Okay, probably it will be sorted out in a few minutes. But I'll go through to Miles Fordis in Auckland. Miles?
Why not? They can't see us. Huh?
Okay. I'm not sure if you can see me. I'll just wait for a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I can see you, but your sound is not very good. It's not as good as UCLA. But so if you can go closer to the mic. Yeah.
I'll try and go as close to the mic as I can. I'll talk relatively slowly. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you and hear you
Am I on the
clearly
big
now.
screen? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Fantastic.
thank you.
I guess I want to talk a little bit about not necessarily the University of Auckland's IT strategy, but a little bit creating an IT strategy for your organisation. And I've got a couple of quotes here which I'll start with. One is from Sun Tzu from quite a while ago, and some of you may have heard this, is that strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. And essentially what this is saying is that strategy without execution is hallucination. So it is very difficult to put up a strategy which doesn't include the execution or the elements of how you're actually going to achieve it. I've seen a large number of strategies from a variety of different universities, and they talk about a very good vision, but then when you try and articulate how you're actually going to make that journey happen, it's extremely difficult, and I think you end up with a strategy which sits on someone's bookshelf and doesn't actually mean anything. So the key messages I'll convey today really talk about, I guess, our journey, but the key things are is really ensuring that you understand your organisation's or the organisation strategy or the university strategy, because then you have to tie your strategy of IT back to your organisation. Understand what services you are delivering as an IT unit. Understanding the trends of what the landscape is actually looking at. So we here in New Zealand are looking at the Horizon reports, Gartner, Butler Group, Educors, what the vendors are saying. So we're looking no more than 3 to 5 years out. Technology, you can't predict technology more than 3 years from today. Very, very difficult. You can look a little bit further, but really to have an IT strategy which is more than, say, 5 years out is very, very challenging in my perspective. We focused a lot around service and service strategies, so that rather than taking a holistic IT strategy, which we have, we've now started to distill that down into the various services that we deliver. So we have services related to storage, to virtualization, to applications, through to security, and we're looking at each of these independently and saying how we're actually going to develop strategies that sit below each of these services that we offer. Linking them back to your organisational impact, so that if you have strategies, it's really important to understand why you're performing particular tasks or initiatives. Because it's not so much of convincing the IT community as to what you're doing, but you also need to convey the message to the academic community and to the faculty community who are perhaps a little bit doubtful of the journey that you're taking them on. So it's important to get that right. So I'll talk a little bit about our IT strategy and the way we went about developing it. Essentially, we looked at the 3 key areas of what we do as a university, which is teaching and learning, research, and administration. And then we looked, I guess, as across the group and saying, well, what makes up the university? So we split it into 5 areas: environments, or the physical environment, and that may be lecture theatres, the physical areas where teaching and learning, research and administration happens. We looked at information and collaboration, the way we support those units, the technical infrastructure and applications and packages. So we sort of created a matrix of the 3 areas of teaching, learning, research and administration, and then flipped across the top, environments, information, collaboration, support, technical infrastructure, applications and packages. We then swung that around a little bit more and actually broke that down even further to try and understand where are we actually taking all of these areas, because you can have a holistic strategy, but unless you actually understand where the teaching and learning environment space is going to go, you don't necessarily see the linkages of perhaps how a wireless strategy is going to influence